Okay, we have here the Shanling M0 PRO, which is an upgrade from the M0. I believe the primary difference between the two is that this has balanced DAC and, dual DAC and balanced output. I got my terms mixed up. Which is actually a very substantial difference in my opinion, because you go from a power output with single-ended on this thing of 80 milliwatts to a claimed output with balanced of 236 milliwatts. That's 262%, which is problematic because it breached the 200% threshold. So they've tweaked it uniquely. If those numbers are real, and I think based on my listening to it, I think they are. So my method of determining if a player or a bulb or whatever it might be has enough power for my IEMs, because I have a lot of IEMs that are harder to drive, and some that are very hard to drive and some that are not. Anyway, these are the Tin Hi-Fi P1s. If you don't own a set, you should. They're not that prohibitive, and they're, in my opinion, amazing. They are hard to drive, though. So this will drive them quite nicely at about 80% of its volume. And so that's impressive. And it will drive, I use it with my big cans too. It drives them. It's pretty amazing. So let's take a tour. On the bottom, we've got a micro SD cover and a card underneath it, obviously. I've got a terabyte in there. It will, or the specs for these card readers are up to 2 terabytes now. The Type-C is 3 items. Charging, obviously. This can also act as a dongle, and it can also act as a transport. So I can use it as a dongle to play music from my laptop or phone or whatever right through the USB hardwired. Or I can use this as a transport to play music into an external DAC through that USB. Then I have my 3.5 aux, and that's not a normal 3.5. That is both a balanced and a single-ended. Okay. Then we have the wheel. Wheel is just volume, but it has push button as well. So push it once, you turn the player on. Twice is definable, 3 times is definable. I have them defined as twice being jump forward, one track, and 3 times pause. Now, so our screen is on. I'm going to touch and hold the screen. Long hold of the screen brings you to the top menu. So we're going to take a quick look at some of the features here. Not all of them, because they're just so generic. Bluetooth, okay? So you have to excuse me, my thumbs are a little fat for some of this. So Bluetooth, first thing is, we have just locked in to my phone. I'm just going to disconnect my phone. All right, so I just turned the Bluetooth off of my phone, so we disconnected from my phone. So Bluetooth is on. And I'm too slow. Quality. So we have a choice of our quality, right? Whatever quality format you want to choose. So here's another thing. Long press of the screen and hold takes you up to the top menu. Touch the screen and flick. So a quick touch and flick to the side takes you up one menu, right? So I showed you quality. Then we have Bluetooth headphones. This is simply a volume control if you're using a set of Bluetooth headphones. So if I was using, these are Hibby. I don't want to use too many names because I'll be calling the Shanling device the Hibby and vice versa. Anyway, so this is a Hibby Woo 1 or something like that. And I can use that as my receiver, and I can use this as the player, and I'll play, and then that's what it is. This is the player and the transport, and I'm using this as the Bluetooth, and it doesn't want to come out, so we'll touch and hold it for a second, and we'll come up to the top screen. So then we were in here, so we were in Bluetooth. Next one is SyncLink. If you use SyncLink, I'm simply using my phone or a tablet to control this device. So I simply have mirrored this screen up there to whatever device I have linked it with, and I control it from that. I've used it on other devices, and it's handy. It's really handy with this device because the screen is so small. The rest, screen brightness, screen off, idle, sleep timer, USB mode, clock you have to manually set. We don't have Wi-Fi, right? So that does not, you have to manually set it. Lock screen, you can set your own custom lock screen. You have to use, you set them in a file folder, and they have to be a very specific size, 240 by 240, I think it is. Then we have a volume lock. We have wheel shortcuts, I mentioned. You define them in there. DSD mode, just on how you play DSDs, native, or what packet you use. USB audio output, talked about. Then we have a line out, audio output for line out. Then we have an in-vehicle, which is simply this thing comes on and off and is powered by the vehicle charge being plugged in. So whenever this has power, it will turn on. That's it for in here. We're going to go over here one, and we're going to look at this. So we're now going to talk about one thing in here. Gapless, sure. Gain, sure. Gain's on low. EQ. I'm going to turn the EQ on. We have 3 custom EQs here. And then we have the whole plethora of other ones, right? So the custom EQs, come on, there we go. So we have 10 bands in this custom EQ. Turn it off. So you can set up 3 custom EQs. If you like EQing for some headphones that you like but just don't have quite the right whatever, there you go. You can set up for 3 of them. Now, what I don't think I showed you here was, let's just put it in here, whatever. Actually, I won't play any music anyway. It'll just get me in trouble with the people in charge. So what I wanted to show you now, though, was size-wise. I don't think I did this comparison. There's the IFI Go Blue Bluetooth bulb, which I use and is my go-to, and maybe replaced by this device. But at any rate, this device almost has as much power as this, and this has a ton of power. This is your basic thing: on-off, Bluetooth, dongle DAC, bass expansion. That's it. Nothing else. At any rate, this. Here are my adapters. That's what I was looking for. So I have 2 adapters. I have the Shanling adapter, which you can buy where you buy your Shanling device, and I have. Okay, so your Shanling adapter gets you from your 3.5 to your 4.4 for balanced. I use a Trident adapter as well, which is a right angle adapter, obviously, and it gets you from 3.5 to 2.5, right? So that covers off all my options. My balanced cables are 2.5 or 4.4, and right now my 2.5 cable is a right angle 3.5, and so on. So this is a fantastic device. It is unbelievable what it can do, and I think it's great value. I think it was like 128 US, somewhere around there. It's cheaper than most of the Bluetooth bulbs that are out there, and it's a full-on player. Doesn't have streaming, but if you want, you can connect your phone to it and stream from your phone to it. So it's well worth checking out if you're in the market for a very small Bluetooth DAP. But this is the top of the heap as far as I'm concerned right now, and competes with even larger Bluetooth DAPs if you like using the Shanling sync. So anyway, if you liked the video, click like and please subscribe.